Mom. Mom. Mom.
Trying to come to my house. Get over the hill, for God's sake.
Mom, Dad's mountain is on fire. It's exactly where Dad would go to pray. That whole trail up there where he would go walk and pray is on fire. We just filmed the whole thing.
It's coming over the hill to me, for God's sake.
What are you going to do?
Get over here and help me.
Okay,
Go,
I'm turning around. I'm coming to help you.
Jen, you're going to end up with your own reality show. I wouldn't be surprised.
What with kids and hospitals and... Oh my gosh.
Maybe so, actually. And let's make this road. Just look back to the front, flip right here, and come back down. We're going to film this. This is about as dramatic as it gets. Okay, so we hear there's traffic, there's fires all over California tonight, and you're about to see on the hilltops. Now, we were just over at the prophet Kim Clement. His wife's, Kim Clement was who prophesied the presidency of Donald Trump. He's well known for that. Of course, he did personal prophecies for... They rented an $80 million mansion in Beverly Hills on the most posh street in Beverly Hills. Got shot up drive-by yesterday. Really? And it's because of this other guy I tattooed. This guy YG. Now YG, which stands for Young Gangster, about 6 or 7 years ago, I was called to go tattoo this guy. Okay, so what you're about to see here at night, and we're cruising through this. Of course, next to me, this is Donna Clement Petruska. She is, and her husband actually does tattoos on celebrity tattoo artists. Many of your most famous people in Hollywood, from McAfee Securities to Joe Rogan to... Now I'm going to step out of the car right here just so you can see the fires. Here, put the car in park. Let me get out. Let me just jump out a second so you can see the fires. I want you to look over here at the fires. Donna, go ahead and flip the car around. Okay, I want you to see. I get a call from my friend who sends me to all these celebrities. He's like, okay, there's this new guy. They just had a hit song, Tooted and Booted. 50 Cent had got on it with Snoop Dogg, and it was their first hit song. And they send me out to Inglewood. Now, I've been all around and stuff, now this is back when Donna would go with me, where she was my helper, me and my wife. I want you to see right up here, behind me, the fires that are going. I'm gonna put you on a wall, and I'm just gonna stand right on top of this wall, and I'm gonna get you footage. We pull up in this house in Inglewood. I walk in, it's 40 or 50 guys smoking blunts. There's pistols on the table. They're all playing NBA 2K. And I walk in, and I'm just like, whoa. Different environment. And I put all my stuff down, and I walk outside, and I call my friend who sends me there. I'm like, yo, man. I'm like, what in the hell? Yeah. I was like, I just walked in here. I was like, this is like a gang house. Like what's going on? He's like, no. He's like, they want you there. These are signed artists. These are signed artists. And I didn't know at that time, but in that house, 4 of them became stars. Of the fires. Okay, so here you. Okay, so what you're looking at across the horizon here, these are the fires in California that are going tonight on the hilltops. Those mountains that you're looking at right there in the background, these are the mountains. So the Clement Ranch is down inside there. You're in Camarillo, California. What I also failed to say is when I went to the Staples Center and I gave that word to Young Thug, and I told him about sin, literally right after that, all these people come in. I'm talking Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son, and then Kanye West walks in. Now, I've always been a huge fan of Kanye, and literally comes and stands right next to me. And I just look over at Kanye and I was like, man, I was like, when you made that song Through the Wire, where your mouth was wired shut, but you still did the song Through the Wire, I was like, man, at that time, my mouth was wired shut too. I had broken my jaw in a motorcycle wreck. Right now, over there where you see those heavy, heavy fires that I'm pointing into, that's where Jane is out there praying. She was hosing.
Yeah, it's coming.
So Jane, how did you find out about the fire today?
I was laying on my bed and my brother called me and he said, Jane, look out your window, there's a fire coming right towards you. I said, don't lie. I jumped up. I couldn't believe it. Oh no, he's right. Called Rena straight away. Rena, help! Fire! Fire!
YG became one of the most gangster rappers out there. His friend DJ Mustard is one of the top music producers and out there right now. And Ty Dolla $ign's with them, Iggy Azalea, all these like big names now were in this house. And I was just tattooing them. Now that's the guy that probably shot up Kanye West in that mansion and all them yesterday.
Okay, so we're watching Indiana Jones, right? Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. And so we're watching that with our kids, a 6 and 8 year old, and that's our children. And so we're watching it, and they're asking, so what's this about? Well, he's looking for the Ark of the Covenant. And they're going, well, isn't that what you were looking for, you know, in Israel? I said, well, actually, yes. Well, anyway, later, as the film goes on, there's a chase scene, and they're in an Auburn. Well, the Auburn is one of the vehicles that we started manufacturing. So here's a shot of a red one we built.
When did you build that, Mike?
We set up the factory for that in like the year 2000.
Where at?
This was north of Atlanta, Georgia.
Same thing like with DeMar DeRozan, and the reason why he was the first celebrity that I went to talk to about GodCoin was just because I know him so well, and I know that he is a very good family man. Okay, ladies, tell me what we're doing.
We're going to feed the horses.
I gotta come around you like that.
We're on our way to feed the horses.
All right, kiddos, let's do it. DeMar DeRozan is a professional NBA basketball player from Compton, California. I first tattooed DeMar when he was a freshman at USC, and Little Romeo was on that basketball team. It was another rapper, but he actually made the basketball team at USC. And Romeo had money, and Romeo would bring the guys from the basketball team and get them tattooed, and Romeo would pay for it. They're evacuating this entire area.
My daughter's going to send a picture. They had news people at their house. So I said, I can take it, send me the pictures.
Your daughter's house burned? Your daughter's house is gone?
Yes.
And you were evacuated from the fires?
Yep.
Is she evacuated from the
Oh,
fires?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
She's somewhere out
Yeah, we went together.
Yeah.
She was in Pasadena for a while.
Okay, so basically all the lanes are converging. Okay, so
we need to get over here.
okay, so we're about to cross traffic. We're in. Okay, so you're gonna go one block up. You're going through the traffic. It's taking you a block up, so you go straight through these cars.
So I'm not
Okay, this is all traffic from the fires that you're looking at over here on the side. This is your daughter's house?
Yes. Westlake Village.
Westlake Village. Wow. You're gonna go straight through, straight across.
Right.
So when you get the opportunity, there you go. That Cadillac's gonna go. What you're looking at on the sides here, and this is we're in Camarillo, correct?
Dude.
More than 150,000 people have been evacuated. See below that picture?
Yeah. Okay, can you read that again?
Yeah, people looking towards the hills scorched from the wildfires close to 101 Freeway Friday in Thousand Oaks, California. More than 150,000 people have been evacuated.
Okay, when that car goes, there you go. Now, the Cadillac should let you across.
And that person just moves forward a little bit.
Okay, go for it, asshole. Okay, sorry about that.
Watch for cars coming.
Turn
Okay,
right
stop.
onto Via Montecito, then turn
You
left
gotta
onto
be
Via
kidding,
Alba.
guy.
I'm going straight.
We're going straight, guys. Let us through.
Going straight.
We're going straight.
No,
Let
I'm
us.
going straight, please. I'm going straight.
You can see the light. You can see the light from those fires right there coming across the horizon, right in that valley down in there. That's where Jane's Ranch is, or the prophet Kim Clement. This is where his prayer garden was. It's where his prayer garden was, and where he would literally hike up to the top of those mountains. That is the prophet's mountains.
That became the AC Cobra. And then, of course, as time went on, he has, the snake or the viper and that sort of theme. Well, he didn't own those trademarks, the car companies did, so he wanted to start his own.
On the sides up here, you're gonna go up here, you're gonna go right at this. So go through this,
There's all
and
these cars.
that's fine, just go around them. That's fine, just drive around them. Okay, we're gonna make a right here.
Yeah, the first time in human history that a man ever exceeded 200 miles per hour was not in an airplane, it was in a Sunbeam. Actually a two-seater convertible.
Just keep on driving, you're good. Okay, you can see the fires on the top of the mountain up here. So we're coming
Turn
through.
left onto Via.
Daytona, and they went over 200 miles an hour on the beach in a 1,000 horsepower Sunbeam. Yeah. Hey, but he was safe because he had a leather helmet on.
Okay, go ahead left. Go ahead left. Okay, just go for it. There's nobody there. Just go for it.
Go on the
Yeah,
other
like
lane.
here, another lane. Yeah, just keep going. Just keep driving all the way down. Just keep doing it the whole way. You're gonna go home the whole way, like this. Okay, so what we're driving through and what you're looking at is the
Hi,
traffic.
Mom. Hi, baby.
You're looking at the traffic that's lined up here in California. People trying to get out the 101, the Ventura.
Oh, you got.
And then later, they made the first James Bond car, and Dr. No, James Bond with Sean Connery. Yeah, so pretty neat. Well, anyway, that brand, that name, has been owned by several companies in the last 100 years. And, we own it now. Our family owns it now.
So the Fleetwood Mac, they live next door.
Yes.
They do.
They're horrible people.
Well, I've never met him, but his wife is in
She
the back.
slashed my driveway.
Yeah.
Here we're on sort of the outskirts of, I guess, Malibu, Camarillo, Simi Valley. That's kind of the area we're in. Sort of,
Yes.
in a way.
Right.
And Mike came down, so he's going to solve the problem for everybody.
Oh, no, that's a malicious rumor.
This is the Clement Parrot.
Touchdown! Hey! Touchdown! Come on! Good!
Okay, do it again. Here he goes.
Touchdown! Touchdown! Good! Oh, he doesn't know what that is.
Let's go out there with you. You're going to make a.
Well,
You're
you
going to
try to help
be
me
making.
navigate. I've been driving the wrong way on roads.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So when this white car moves.
I love you.
When this white car moves out of the way, we're going to go through. So you can see the traffic is lined up all the way this way and that way. As soon as you're able to cut in here, go ahead straight on through them. Go straight on through them and just go right on in the left lane. There you go. Just go straight through.
Right off, so don't get too close.
Are you? But he. No, he won't.
Come here, Louie. Lou. Come here, Lou. Go touchdown. Lou. Touchdown. Lou. It's okay. Come on, Louie. Come. Come on. He's scared of that thing. Lou. Touchdown.
Right there that you're staring at, where the flames are, and this is just one day after the U.S. Midterms. There are two things about the midterms. One of the things that really struck me as it settled in on me was, number one, that both sides won. In fact, for this last little bit, all the movies that you watch, and I'm not just talking about Matt Damon movies, all the TV shows, everything, you can't even watch television because it's been political rhetoric shoved down your throat for months.
But the flames, I can still see them on that hill, which was very
Oh, look at the sun. Look at the sun up there. Look at I was actually thrilled because had it just been the Republicans that had won, oh my gosh, the medias would have gone, particularly the liberal medias would have gone crazy and mad, and the attacks against Trump would have just gotten worse and worse and worse. Now it's interesting what two sides won what.
That's the place they all like to go and hang out, and I know that because I tattoo a lot of the police officers and those service members, and they all love to go up there.
You knew two of the girls from the shooting last night?
Yeah, McKenna and Taylor. I tattoo them all the time. They just brought me a girl last month who was involved in the Vegas shooting, and she got a tattoo on the 1 year anniversary.
But both sides won something, so both sides can feel a little bit satisfied with themselves. The Democrats will not be able to impeach, as they screamed and screamed and screamed for months, because the Republicans took the Senate. Now, what the Democrats picked up is an important power, and one that I found really interesting, because there's been, and it's not even Democrats, because, I mean, this isn't the Kennedy time period. What this is, honestly, this is a bunch of Clinton-funded style crap that's pushing on your medias to really attack all of us.
I just Woody.
Mom, here, I have Woody right here.
I just I wouldn't sell her the house for cheaper, so she tried to be mean, and so she sliced my driveway.
She what?
She took her
But why was she mad?
because she wanted me to sell the house for less than what I paid for it. And
But the Democrats picked up an important thing. They picked up the ability to block stuff that Trump does. And the more this settled in on me, the more I kind of liked it, because it lays responsibility in their hands. So you can't just blame Trump. They can't just blame Trump now. The medias can't. And I thought, wow, that's really the Lord that did that.
and I said no,
Why would somebody want that?
because she's married to Fleetwood Mac, and she thinks she owns the whole world, basically.
Your house is bigger.
Yes.
They can't just blame Trump. They're going to have to decide whether to approve or disapprove. And the power, now in many instances, will be laying in their hands. So if Trump says, I want to lower everybody's taxes, they'll have to answer for why, hey, we wanted to block that. That sounded like a bad plan. If Trump says, I want to give everybody $500,000, and they say, nope, he's a jerk. He just wants to make everybody rich. Well, then they'll have to answer, why did we stop Trump? In the case of all your things, what you've done is that even when you package companies together, even when you create, you've got the lines of stuff already made, like at least an example of each thing, whether it's a house that you can sit out
real.
and it just opens up and it's I want a house there, and boom, it's there.
It's there. We actually make them.
Yeah, it was sun powered, the food grows, the
Yeah,
this,
here it
that,
works.
the this, that, the
Yeah,
this,
take a look
that,
at it.
and it's remote controlled and it listens to your voice and it moves itself. It's like a transformer. If Trump wants to feed a bunch of starving children and they say, no, that jackass, we're going to stop it, then they'll have to answer why was that they wanted to block him. Really, in a sense, government, both the Republicans and the Democrats, will be learning how to actually do government. You were, tell me about your relationship with Kim Clement.
So I've known Kim for 18, 19 years. We lived in Houston. He would come stay at our place when he was ministering in Houston, and then we would, run up to Dallas to his house. And
So you've got that, or a solar-powered sports car, or any of these other things. You've at least got an example, if not a few, of each thing. So
Yeah. Now, some people don't do that. They don't have any of that. They just have the story.
they just and you don't want that because
you could, and some people have. But
my son and his son, they made a band together when they were kids, and just kind of years went by and built a relationship. But in 2012, Kim asked me to come to California to build. I'm a builder. To build his state-of-the-art studio.
And this is on the same day that we interviewed some of the victims. There were 12 people killed just a few miles from here in Thousand Hills. It's a very expensive area of California. What it means.
She was from Austin, Texas.
This lady died last night.
Yep. in the thing.
Did you know her?
No, this is a girl that I tattooed. I'm just going through my Instagram, and I'm just seeing all the people that are losing friends, that lost friends.
Shannon Scroggins, she lost 2 of her friends.
I'm Greg Scroggins. Well, let's talk about the shooting that just happened. My daughter happens to be a frequent person. She goes there twice a week, every week for the last 4 to 5 years now. And last night was very significant for me because she was going to go dancing that last night. She was too tired to go. She said, you know what, I'm just not going to go tonight, which is very unusual for my daughter because she loves to dance.
So what's going on?
On Monday, a lot of the survivors from the Borderline shooting are coming to the tattoo shop to get a Borderline tattoo. They've sent me the image that they want, and there's going to be a lot of them. Some of them were actually at the Vegas shooting too.
Here is my coin. It shows Trump. And it shows the temple.
Plenty of Trump supporters there along that Borderline. I know a lot of those people that go there are military and cops that go to Borderline, and just because I tattoo them, they're my friends. And all Trump supporters. Very interesting how this is all playing out.
Where the last time that he spoke on his stage, I'd built him a temporary studio, which is where it is now, and he had pulled me aside and said, Greg, you know, we're going to go see Trump.
Just like he did Cyrus in the Old Testament. Cyrus, he wasn't a Christian, but God said he's my special spokesman. Look, he chose Trump to be his special spokesman. I believe that Cyrus will be in heaven when we get there, and so will Donald Trump.
Next week, and so we're gonna, he wanted to do some plans that following Monday before we left, and so that's when he got sick.
Prior to the election?
Yes, prior to the election.
And he was going to go see Donald Trump.
Trump had asked him to come.
The fires, everything went complete chaos, literally around us.
Where are the fires at right now?
Well, that's what I'm worried about right now because I'm looking at the fire map where it's on my phone from the fire department, and it's backing up to Madera Road, which is right where my tattoo shop is.
These are the fires.
You want me to point it straight out there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm with Trey Smith, God in a Nutshell, and he's going to show you. He's going to hold the camera up so you guys can see the fire.
Okay, if you can still hear us talking on Facebook Live, what you're looking at live right now as we drive the car and these fires are on the same mountain where Kim Clement used to go and pray. You're looking at the mountain. Right now you're looking through a cell phone. We're on Facebook Live. This is the same place where Kim Clement would go up on top of the mountain and pray. This is on the same day, or the day after actually, but this is the night that they're doing a prayer vigil for the 12 victims who were killed just a few miles from here at a nightclub last night in Thousand Oaks, one of the most expensive and exclusive areas in all of California, really. There were 35 injured, as I understand it, and 12 are dead. That number could have changed.
Look, I do believe it's the end days. I believe it's the end of the end days. Because I have never seen so many things come to pass that are coming to pass right now, that are prophesied in the Old Testament through the Old Testament prophets. It's unbelievable. And God alerted me to this before Kim passed away. And so I started on this. So, yep.
What footage? Okay.
The flame of fire proceeding from the bush, something like the lightning from the bush. Okay. So this is what we were looking at when Sunil was telling me about Firepoint and what he discovered from my prophecies, I was overwhelmed. I was so excited that I just thought I'd teach this little principle, then we'll all gather and give and sow into what? The revelation of Firepoint, so we can all be a part of the breakthrough, that God would accelerate his word, okay? But the interpretation, well, not the interpretation, one of the translations of he looked and behold, the bush was burning with fire and the bush was not consumed.
Maybe this is the fire point we're talking about. Now, when...
Oh, that's interesting. Tell me what a fire point means.
When God gives me a word and I throw out something like Firepoint or a dolphin or look to the sea or Saturn, when these things come out, it's fine to do that and forget about it. But what we do is we say, we're going to take this further. We want further perception and knowledge about this. So Sunil begins to work with a whole group of code breakers, and they begin to find out what it means. They're looking a little bit deeper. They're searching. They're taking sight.
I was freaking out. Trey's got it all on camera. I was freaking out because I'm like, that's the path he walked. And I found some footage last night, Trey, that I got to show you of my dad talking about Firepoint and what happened and how he had, it felt like fire in his hand.
Because that light, that fire was going to be transferred to the children of Israel so that millions of people could receive deliverance when that fire was translated into a fire by night, into a pillar of fire that would not only lead Moses but would lead the people of Israel. In other words, what I hear when I have a revelation that comes to me, this must be transformed into a pillar of light so that millions of people can take advantage of it and be free from slavery, free from bondage, free from financial bondage. You know what I'm saying? In other words, this revelation any man of God or woman of God gets, it must be for the purpose of the advantage and the progress of the people of God.
We are Firepoint. Literally right behind my head, some drunk idiot in his Camaro was in the parking lot doing donuts, crashed his car, and a big flame came behind my head as soon as I was telling them this. And they were like, John, like, what the heck? So we had to call the fire department. The guy runs out of his car, runs away, and that was my, that was my, like, yes,
aha moment.
You are Firepoint.
God speaks to Moses, tells him, I want you to take the children of Israel and we're gonna get them out of bondage. Do you know that there's a bondage upon the people of God this very moment? And that is that they are dictated to by the economy.
This is just a representation of what we're trying to do and where we're going to go. And I was like, I want you to carry this with you to every basketball game. And this is your good luck charm. And DeMar grabbed it and he said, he grabbed it like this. And he said, it's going in my backpack that I take with me everywhere. And I was like, and give that one to your kids. Because he's got a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old too.
Wow, can I see that?
Yeah, you can have it.
Of this world. And you know what? There are some of you that are not dictated to by the economy. You're not being controlled by it. This ministry is not being controlled by it. And here's the thing I was going to tell you. When God blesses the spiritual leader that you are under, that blessing must come to you and your households.
Right now, you see that line of fire right there appearing over the horizon. If you see that line of fire,
Limes and other things. There's a gazillion different examples, but we're just saying limes for now, right? Mm-hmm. But there's many examples of a food that is designed to do some terrific things. I mean, look at coffee. This is a simple thing. How many people drink coffee?
everybody.
Yeah, everybody. Why? It does something cool, right?
Yeah,
did you know the caffeine? Yeah, and did you know the caffeine in coffee cures a headache? And did you also know, this is really cool too, did you also know that aspirin has never, ever been proven at all to eliminate a headache? It doesn't cure a headache at all. It's never been proven. But you know what they say? The drug company who started selling it over 100 years ago thought, well, most people are actually getting headaches because they're dehydrated. So we'll do this. Take this aspirin and a big glass of water and your headache will go away.
That's pretty funny.
That is kind of funny. And it's actually just the water doing it.
That right there is, those fires are coming towards the Clement property as we speak, and there are other fires in California which are coming that are literally that are racing towards where Donna lives.
He had to pull his hand away, and something happened, and he had like water, and he wanted to pour the water on his hand, and then he didn't, and he like pours the water out and let his hand burn because he knew there was something in his hand, something about the fire in his hand. It was
I had my hands held, and I suddenly sensed this. And I don't do that, guys. And again, I said to him, I said these words, "What are you putting into my hand?" And I understand now that it was fire. I understand now that it was something that was burning me.
12 are dead. That number could have changed. It could be 13 at this moment, but we just met with one of the victims. Donna did a very good interview and prayed also with Charlie, who was Kim Clement's bassist, who said really a moving prayer.
Because not only is this just about Fire Point and about the fire of God, it is so much more that's going to happen, that is about to take place. I don't have all the understanding of it, but I do know this. God has transferred something to me, and it's being transferred to you as well. Something deeply spiritual that's going to do wondrous things, surround you with songs of deliverance.
Well, I can tell you right now that God has shown me about a month ago that there's a tsunami coming. And this tsunami, he told me to tell whoever would listen that there's a tsunami of his spirit coming. But it's not going to just wipe like a regular tsunami, come and wipe everybody out. You have to dig ditches.
How do you like your electric bike?
Love them.
Aren't they great? What's your top speed on that unit?
Chris, what's the top speed? 20 something? 25 maybe?
Yeah, it should be 20 actually. Yeah.
So I said, well, what does that mean? How do you dig ditches? And he said, well, tell the people I'm going to start in their house. And if they will come together as husband and wife, or if they're roommates or however, but if they'll start praying and worshiping me in their house, then that is digging the ditches for my spirit.
Manufacturer, you cannot exceed 20 miles an hour on an electric bike. Or else you have to be a car company or a vehicle company, and they have to have a VIN number, just like a car or motorcycle. And I thought, well, I have that. So our Sunbeam solar hybrid mountain bike, it cruises at 30 miles an hour.
Actually, your personal one, how fast is your personal one?
Well, mine,
how fast is your personal one?
Mine goes 52 miles an hour.
And yours looks cooler than the rest
Well,
of
it
them.
does, yeah, but I can't.
So I'm at the Denver airport this morning. This is what that looks like down there, but this area down here where these walls are, this used to be where the creepy paintings were. I used to show them to people when they would fly in. But I wanted to show you this morning. It says streamline security or more secrets. On Halloween night, I got a call to go tattoo Young Thug. And Young Thug is a rapper from Atlanta, and is friends with a lot of my friends. And unfortunately, we didn't tattoo him on Halloween, where I had Trey with me. And by the way, this is actually, it's about 6 in the morning right now when I'm looking at this, on October the 30th of 2018. So it's October the 30th at about 6 in the morning, and they've got their demon walking through security. And then right over here, streamline security or more secrets. Learn the truth at the Den Files. And they got the little Illuminati thing by the Den Files thing. We'll just come to the show and finish it backstage. And I was like, where's the show? They're like, the Staples Center. I was like, what? The Staples Center? And I was like, okay. And they're like, we're doing a show with J. Cole. J. Cole's one of my favorite rappers out there. And we go backstage, everybody's doing their thing and partying. Young Thug goes out, does his set. He comes back in, and there was like 3 of us in the backstage. And Young Thug sits in the middle, and he kind of had his hands in his hand. And I just felt in the moment, I'd never really done this before, but I just felt in the moment, I was like, what Jane told me at the dinner in Israel, she started talking about sin, what sin meant, what your crowns of achievement meant.
You know, I helped him with anything and everything, and so just out of respect, you know, I won't get too personal with that, but Yeah, so I was there from that all the way to the very last day.
And on the last day, okay, so take me there. He had, there was a prophecy that he wouldn't tell it, but Jane had said he had a visitation. There was a story about this that you had.
And I just told Young Thug that story. And, I didn't know if he was listening or not. And I walked off to the side, and I was talking to the security guy. And he was like, man, he's like, you just spoke a word of God to the other 3 people in here are multi-millionaires.
And on the way there, Jane had said, hey, Greg, God visited Kim last night. And I said, oh, really? That's incredible. What did he say? And he wouldn't say anything. So we kept badgering him, all the way there and all the way back. And so finally Kim loved Starbucks. And so, of course, I'm joking with him. And I said, Kim, if you'll tell us what God said last night, I'll buy you a Starbucks right now. But he said, okay, go get it right now. So I went and got him a little Starbucks. He really wasn't supposed to have any.
And you just spoke a word to them. And the word I spoke was about sin. And 2 days after that, Young Thug, warrant for his arrest for drugs, shooting up Lil Wayne's van.
And so we said, okay, now what did God say? And he kind of smirked and he said, well, all I can tell you is that it's not going to be the same, but it's going to be okay.
Back in the day, and got himself in a bunch of trouble. And they told me afterwards that what I said to him really spoke to him, and nobody else had said anything like that to him. And that's one of the reasons why they called us back on Halloween.
What you're literally looking at is all across the mountains up here. I'm gonna come out of the car for you just so you can take a look at this. You're looking at fires that are going all the way across.
And started shooting. He shot the 2 people, the young lady and the gentleman at the front door, which was the bouncer and the young girl that takes the cash. And he threw the smoke bombs. To me, that I guess is a crazy coward, doesn't want to look at people in the face, right? So creates a huge distraction and started shooting people.
I'm about ready to go with Marshall First, and I'm sure you were instrumental in helping my friends here survive.
Marshall, you saved people at the club. You stayed behind and saved people. Can you walk me through that?
Yeah, I mean, it's well known that foods have been forever and for all of time have been used for the system and the method to cure an ailment or to protect yourself from an oncoming ailment or disease. Right? We all know that.
Yeah.
And I watched him walk in and shoot Christina. After that,
who's Christina?
She was the front. She was the front girl. She was at the front.
She was at the front.
She was taking people's cars and money and checking.
Well, what's really well known is
like an
food.
Example would be you.
Well, one example.
scurvy.
Yeah, that's right. Let's talk about scurvy. Horrible disease, horrible disorder, and it happens with guys that it was happening with men that are on these long ship voyages, right? Columbus and all those guys, and they realize that
you take limes.
Good until there was nobody else around.
So did you see the guy come in?
Yeah.
You did. Did you see what he looked like and that kind of thing? You just saw him come in and he started shooting.
In that 5 seconds that I saw,
he just pulled the gun out and started and fired on people that you knew.
Yeah. I saw a black hat, black glasses, black hoodie. Everyone seemed to have the same kind
How many times did he just fired into with the ladies that were standing at the counter?
I saw 5 or 6.
Limes have a natural amount of vitamin C, is what they think it is. That's fixing you, and sure enough, vitamin C is the key ingredient in there. But you know what's really funny is, let's say a chemical company, pharmaceutical company gets a hold of this.
This actually cures.
Yeah,
you can't use
it
that
really
word.
cures. So what?
It'd be illegal to say that too.
Now,
lime cures scurvy.
Right, even
but you know that it does.
Right, it's a fact. So what's wrong with that? Well, it turns out there's more vitamin C in pine needles. And
than there is in the lime.
Limes, lemons, any sort of citrus fruit, there's more.
And this is what you discovered.
That's what we did.
I never leave the dance floor ever, but I left because I was dying of heat. So I went over to say hi to my friends real fast, and after everything went off, I kind of like thought back to it, and I was like, wow, I never wear jeans. 1, 2, I never leave that dance floor, and 3, like my jeans kind of saved my life in a weird way.
It even gets better than that.
Okay.
Why chop up the? Why do that when, in fact, the tree bark has even more?
Bark has more
vitamin C
and all sorts of other things.
And all sorts of other cool stuff.
And because it's in the food, so you can't. You were telling me, Mike, that what you had found is that there's the lime. So you take the lime for the scurvy, but if you chemically extract that same vitamin C,
it doesn't work.
It doesn't do anything.
No. Yeah. So they're
which would be a big message if you're taking packs of vitamin C and all of that it's really not feeding your body.
Oh, that's a good
what
point.
It does in the food.
Right. Have you ever?
The reason why I left the dance floor is because I had jeans on.
All of those people, what's interesting about this shooting, like everyone I've talked to, you support the Right to Bear Arms.
Yes.
I was really thrilled with that.
Yes.
Taking vitamins, including vitamin C, and first time you take a whiz, you're like neon guy. You know, you're just shooting all sorts of neon stuff. Right. Well, because your body's getting rid of it. Now this Rocket Man thing, it turns out because it is a food and it's mostly tree bark, stuff like that.
Because there's something in the food there's something in that lime that's different than when you just extract the stuff.
That's right. Okay. And it stays in your body for a period of time. Your body stores it. It's a tool. Same with Rocket Man. That's why it's lasting so many days.
Yeah, that's what I've done before.
And since I don't have my own gun, I'm French, so I cannot own a gun. And they were like, you need to have a friend with you. And I was like, I don't have anybody right now that want to come with me. I'm the only one that is like in that mindset. So one of the instructors is an ex-police officer. He just took me under his wing and he's like, you come every week now, and I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna make you progress, and I love that.
It's good to get that training, get some instruction on it, and know how to properly handle a firearm.
It was profoundly beautiful, out of this world. I heard children laughing, what seemed like hundreds of thousands of children, and then intermingled with their laughter, I heard the laughter of older people. And it was deafening. It wasn't giggles, it was just pure, unadulterated laughter. But the sound was a mingling of these older and these younger, because...
So the stalk of a plant...
Just like the lime with the scurvy, light is turning to day.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I like that.
It's, just like with the scurvy, only solving a different set of problems.
Yeah, that's right.
Appears to be.
Yeah, so different trees or different plants will have different mixes of compounds and vitamins and minerals and things, depending on the tree, depending on the soil.
Almost like they're designed that way.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Yeah. What, it didn't evolve?
Tattoos tell me about these tattoos here.
One of our friend Harrison that was there that night, he designed that really quickly. I think that was like 2 nights
that was
after.
in like a day or two.
So, and this is the tattoo for the Borderline nightclub?
Exactly.
Yeah,
well,
it's one of the many versions that are out there.
This one is especially for the person that were there that night.
And you ladies were there that night?
Yeah.
Yes.
You'll find if you ever get stuck in the forest somewhere, you have absolutely no excuse to starve. I mean, you're surrounded by food.
You're surrounded by food.
You're leaning up against a tree going, gosh, I wish there was something I could eat here. You know,
and the trees have got more nutrients and
right.
the fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, it's really kind of funny. Tree bark on some trees have more nutrients than almost any single fruit or vegetable that's in your produce department right now.
And how big of a space? Like just a little bit of it?
Oh my gosh, we're talking
a tiny amount.
Yeah.
And like I said, something just didn't feel right with me. Something wasn't sitting right.
You're driving to the nightclub you always go to.
Yes.
And you would have pulled up at the same time as the shooter and would have shot the people at the door.
Correct. And
so what stopped you? Why was it?
You know, I wish I had an answer.
But something told you don't go in?
Yeah.
How far were you from the club?
I was about 10 minutes away, and something stopped me, and I said, you know, I just need to go home. And I did. And then about 10 minutes later, I got a couple calls from my friends. You know, I didn't answer.
Are you a Christian family?
You know, we grew up Catholic Christian.
Pop it in their mouth. How many of them say, oh, it didn't do anything for me?
I haven't had that yet. Yeah.
Out
of all of them, they go, man, this thing works. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
They're excited about it.
Well, of course.
Some of them, because I read some letters and there were people crying. I mean, like they were going to do surgery. Several of these.
I've had 2.
They were taking the Viagra. Tons of people taking Viagra. The Viagra wears off. It's affecting your body bad.
Yeah.
Then they go to the shots in the Yoo-hoo.
Imagine that.
Right. That lasts for an hour, and it's expensive.
Syringe. Yeah.
Right.
Can't even imagine that.
Okay. Here comes. Okay. Sorry, guy. And then they get the syringe. They go in. And then they're going to do the mechanical surgery. I don't even know what that is.
It's some sort of pump thing. Yeah. And that.
Both of these people said.
2 people canceled their surgery. Both of them had it within the next 30 days after they tried Rocket Man. They called and they said, Mike, we're going to tell you we're canceling this
How
surgery.
fast did it work for them?
The same day.
The same day.
Right.
After they get going through everything. But in your thing,
same day.
Like that.
Yeah, same day. And that's what's really funny.
And it started just with that. Sexually, you turn.
But then he's got
other
energy.
things it's actually doing for the body.
Oh yeah,
that are incredible. That's a side effect of it.
The only reason why
that happens to be a side effect.
Right. Yeah, it's a good side effect.
Laughter. But the sound was a mingling of these older and these younger because of, and I realized later on, because of victory over physical ailments, handicaps, many different things in old and young.
And increase your blood vessels diameter. I can put a lot of blood, open up
and
a
naturally,
lot of
and
flow.
the heart works. Which is why a lot of people have been trying it, not only to.
Oh, that's
be
a
with
side
a
effect.
woman,
The whole thing, the whole thing you've been able to gear up is the side effect, which is a great effect, but you got this just terrific energy, and if your body was receiving these blood flow commands all throughout the day and night already, you wouldn't feel a difference, but you feel a difference. That means there's a problem, and that's why the Rocket Man is working.
People's bodies aren't working as well. Okay, so that's really what's occurring.
That's actually what's really occurring.
The children were laughing because of victory. The young will experience physical and spiritual breakthrough as has never been experienced in these next 7 years. The old people were laughing with them as if they'd heard some exceptionally good news, and the laughter broke out into this massive applause. And this is the strange thing too. Then I heard coming from grass, stones, leaves, trees.
You found is in different types of, and this is different types of tree bark.
Yeah, there's quite a few different types of tree bark.
That you've actually, I've seen the machines.
Yeah,
these are massive just to get that stuff in a pill.
Just a little bit.
Massive factory machines. To get it in a little pill.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna come back in here. They're doing free tattoos today for all of the victims. John, what is the name of the nightclub they were at?
Borderline.
Borderline
Bar and Grill.
So, and those are all victims in the front. Is this the chair that they're gonna be in?
Yeah.
This is one of the tattoo chairs. Did you feel it was the Lord that kept you from going that night?
I do.
You do?
I really do. Especially I am a strong believer. It's just because I had my outfit set out, my boots were by the door, and then it was just I don't think I'll go. It's almost like
You had your clothes set out?
Yeah.
And you were ready to go over there?
Yeah, I was literally going to wear these boots, this jacket, this flannel, and I had it all set out right there, and then I just didn't go.
And the Lord stopped you from going?
Yeah, and I was set on it. I was set on going.
So now...
And this is the God coin pin.
God coin. I always wear one so people can ask me about it.
You wear suits every day when you're tattooing. Both you and Big John.
All of us.
You're both.
Yeah.
Everybody in the tattoo shop wears suits. That's the policy.
Now, most people that I've had work here, as soon as they show up, I'll take them and go buy them clothes. I'll take them up to Burlington Coat Factory, buy them some slacks, give them some dress shirts, a tie, a little vest, and kind of put them in the right direction. You know, as a guy, sometimes we actually don't know how to dress.
The mountains up there as we turn. This road's called Santa Rosa. So it's down in these valleys. It's down in these valleys where you're looking at some of the most expensive homes in California.
My daughter lost 3 friends, and so we're comforting her right now. But
were these close friends?
Yes, these were close friends
Close friends, and normally she would have been there at the nightclub.
Oh yeah, she would have been there.
I mean, this was unusual for her not to be.
Very unusual. She rarely would miss a week that she wouldn't go.
Something was transferred to me on Wednesday. And the only way that I can say it, and now I'm realizing it, when I was caught away, I was hearing angels talking. I was speaking about some nuclear stuff. What I was sensing, there was a weapon that nobody knew about yet. Even though Israel's got one, there's something else out there and it's hidden. And God will not allow it to be hidden for much longer.
Okay, tell me about the coin.
So, I take my lucky coin with me every day, every place I go. So, I've been in the casino 3 times since I have this coin, and I am 3 for 3. I won all the 3 times. Not a lot of money because I don't gamble a lot of money, but I won every time. 3 for 3.
I couldn't drive in those days, you know, because when Kim and I met, I was 17. And in South Africa, you had to be 18 to get your driver's license. So he used to drop me at school, and then pick me up.
How old was Kim?
He was 22 and I was 17. He used to drop me at school, and then he used to come back and pick me up to go get lunch, and then take me back to school. And he used to make me laugh because he would stop at a light, and then he'd get out of the car, run around the car, and jump back in. And I would be screaming because he got out of the car. But he would do how many laps around the car before the light changed color. And of course, I being 17 thought he was so awesome.
You're looking at the traffic that's lined up here in California, people trying to get out the 101, the Ventura.
Oh, you got the LOL jammies.
The Ventura, okay, you're going to be making a right.
Oh, I got them this morning. I was so excited for you to see them. I knew you'd want to wear them.
And, man, it's just, we spent a lifetime together, almost 40 years. And now he's gone, and it's okay because I know I'll see him again. I still wear my wedding ring because, see, beautiful. I could never be with anyone else.
Do you want to go to the mountain of the Lord? Do you want to go to the mountain of the Lord? 'Cause there is a place for those who are thirsty in the mountain of the Lord. Do you want to go to the mountain?
The music that you're listening to right now while you watch this video, it's called Mountain of the Lord. And this is a song that I used to listen to. Even when I was at home, I would be doing video editing on these type of videos here, man. Some of the most intense editing on earth. And sometimes I would feel so lonely. There's a place for the lonely. And the Mountain of the Lord, I would put that song on. And I feel loneliness in my spirit. I'd be surrounded by all these digital screens, man, making these things. And I would just go hardcore at it. But I would feel lonely in my spirit. And that song, the song you're listening to now, a song courtesy Kim Clement TV, the Kim Clement family. And that song would take me to a place in my spirit, the Mountain of the Lord, just like the mountains that are on fire, that have been on fire in California. And we're going to give you an update. Over there, go to GodInANutshell.com, become a subscriber. There's more and more stuff populating in there. But I want you to see stuff absolutely for free about what's going on, and you're going to be amazed at the continuation of what's happening with the Clement family. Thank you, by the way, for support and prayers for their family. Thank you for support for my life, my family. My family's going through some things. Even Mike Hughes, who flew down here, he's going through some things. But that Mountain of the Lord, that song and other ones by Kim, that were inspired by just the flow of the Spirit, the prophetic flow of the Spirit. It would just take me to that mountain of the Lord. And even standing out here in California where there are fires burning to the right and to the left. And we just drive, Donna in the car, and we're just driving right through them and going on a journey, a ride. The Lord wants to take you on a journey, on a ride. And it's not because of me, and it's not because of anyone else, it's because that's what God wants to do. That's the way Kim rolled. And you're going to walk right through the fire, even if it's on your couch in the subscriber section, having a good time, kicking back with your feet up, because the Lord's going to take you on some real rides. And I want you to come with us. If you can still hear us talking on Facebook Live, what you're looking at live right now as we drive the car is, and these fires are on the same mountain where Kim Clement used to go and pray. You're looking at the mountain. Right now you're looking through a cell phone. We're on Facebook Live. These are the new DVDs from God in a Nutshell. Yeah, they always look great on a coffee table. And they look awesome on the inside. These are some of the best that we've made. These are some of the best that we've made. Here's what they look like on the inside. Go over and get a set of them. Although, also, by the way, in the subscriber section, you can watch it right now. You can watch it right this second. Both of them.
Most of it, a great deal of what they do are black projects.
Okay, that's right behind. I mean, those facilities are right there on the mountain, just right above John and Danae's. I mean, it's beautiful, gorgeous area, but those facilities are right there behind, sort of their place. So. It's been years and years since I knew anything about it, but you really never know about what the black projects are. But they're a large military contractor, one of the biggest. So I've read a lot of speculation that there were fires were started or wherever, but it's John and Donna have heard weird stuff coming out of those facilities pretty much. Well, they said, all through yesterday there were weird sounds coming out of there. There were explosions coming out of there, or it sounded like explosions coming out of there. But that is in jest where the fire appears to have started.
Yeah. Well, they do all kinds of military development, and those high performance jet engines are really not like a firecracker that you shoot off in your backyard.
Hold my hand. I would say you should get this side.
Okay.
Because Hank is going to walk there.
Okay.
He knows he's the boss. Look at him swanky.
To you, my light is shining on the way. To you, my love is shining all the way. To you, my light is shining all the way. To you.
He used to just write these things in the Spirit of the Lord. One of the most beautiful music on earth, prophetic music, written, because the Spirit would just flow like a river through Kim Clement. And the Lord leads these things. And the Lord leads the Clement family and the things that they do. Over to KimClementTV.com. And we're going to give you an update, a video update, on all of the things happening right here in California with Jane, with Donna, with even Michael Hughes, who had I not stayed longer, per Donna's request. Michael came down and he flew in. Michael, the same guy, they had family members, in fact, a woman, in their life who was, people's bodies who are broken have been using this stuff that Mike has, that you can't legally say cures anything. Because you can't say that a food, and that's what this is, it's an organic, healthy food. Now, you can't legally, this is a funny thing, you can't legally say something cures anything. But I've been sitting here for the last month with men writing, guys writing, saying that It's done miracles for the life, some of them in tears. There was a lady that came here and visited John and Donette, the Clement family. Her body isn't working. She's desperate for anything. And though I can't tell you it cures anything, I can tell you that on my end of the phone, Rocket Man stuff, people have been calling in tears and thanks, with more robust things than just the yoo-hoo part lighting up magically, apparently, from their messages to us.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
You guys see these? These are incredible. Not only is the content incredible, coming from the genius mind of Trey Smith.
The video you just watched is to be continued. You're a cute little guy.
Look how beautiful they are. These are mine. And they're gonna go in my bookshelf along with my dad's books and Bibles and all my stuff, because just the design of these is so beautiful. So you need to get yourself some of these because they look good and they're incredible.
Go over and support Kim and Jane, their family, and the things that they do. Thank you also for support of God in a Nutshell. You're not just sowing into God in a Nutshell or Donna and their family. You're sowing into yourself by anything that you do, anything that you support, that are people who God is working through, who you listen to and give ear to. I'm Trey Smith. Give it a shot. What can you lose? A pack of Rocket Man only costs a few bucks. If it doesn't work, you didn't lose anything. I haven't heard any emails like that. I've heard excited emails from people that lit up our world. Kick back this season, whatever it is. Right now it's coming up on Christmas. Get a good number of sets of these. Put them in all the stocking stuffers. They're awesome. You know they are. There's nothing in your Hollywood theaters that you're going to want to watch anyway. You need a set of these. Otherwise you're going to be bored to tears. My name is Trey Smith. You're coming on a journey. You're always coming on a journey when it's with me. Right through the fire, baby. I'm Trey Smith. God bless every last one of you. Even the weird ones. And your families. On the other side of the screen.